Hello again, everyone. Today, I would like to highlight the importance of working with different data types. So what does that mean, data types? Well, if you look around you, you will find things that we can refer to by a name, like your pet's name, for instance. Things that are referred to by words and meanings. There are numbers, and these numbers could be like quantities and percentages and fractions, like we saw in the previous videos. And there are also things that we have to answer yes or no questions, such as do you have a pet? You don't have a pet. Are you a citizen of a certain country, or you're not a citizen of a certain country? Are you bilingual or non-bilingual? These are the kind of things that we always see around us. So I made sure that I summarize everything here, so you have an idea about what is it that we're doing today. So we're gonna be working with some with things that start with characters or numbers, and then based on these data types, we're gonna be able to work with these things and make decisions about them. So first of all, let's just start with things that maybe like with things that have a word or a name or a character. So suppose you have a pet name, and this pet's name, say, is Lucy, like that. That's one way to certainly work with words and characters. Um, this is one example. You have a car model, for instance, the car model, say, Nissan, or maybe, I don't know, maybe Ford. It doesn't matter. What else? Your grocery items, for instance, your favorite food. Um, Favorite food. Say your favorite cuisine. You like Italian food. Italian, like that. So these are things that we call text, and it's actually not considered text in the programming language. It's actually considered strings. So we refer to this kind of data type as a string data type, like that. What about numbers? In the previous videos, we saw numbers such as number of items you buy in a grocery shopping. Maybe you buy 3 bag of chips. Um, we also saw the price of an item. Maybe we was like 2.99, and so on. Also, maybe I don't know. Maybe the hourly rate for an employee. $12.99. So this is also considered a fraction and a fraction here. So the fractions, we actually distinguish the numbers, we distinguish them as integers in Python, like that. And we also distinguish the fractions as floats. So we call the fractions floats, and we call the integers, we call them ints, or the real numbers that don't have any fractions, we call them ints. What else? There are things that when you fill out an application, they say, are you a veteran or non-veteran? Veteran, like that. That would be something that you would have to say yes or no. How do we say that in Python? There is a built-in keyword. It's called true or false. You can actually do this, and so if there is a person one, um, like that, Person one is a veteran, maybe person two, um, or we can actually make it if person one is a student, maybe not. We can also use person one is bilingual, like that. So person one is not bilingual, so we're gonna make it false too. So there are things, like I said, there are things that can be true or false, or yes, we can answer them at yes or no. So clearly when you say true, it means yes, you are. Yes, this person is, this person is. No, this person is not. And same story here. Okay, so now suppose so now we saw words, we saw numbers in two different styles. One of them is an integer, one of them is a float. We also saw these true or false things, data items. We can also see things that are mere characters. Although Python doesn't really distinguish between characters and words or maybe strings. However, some other programming languages do distinguish between those two. So I'm just going to show you, excuse me, I'm going to show you here how, for the sake of working, for the sake of demonstrating the different data types, even though Python doesn't really care if you work with a string as one character or multiple characters. So the letter grade, we all understand the letter grade very well. So the letter grade here is an A. This letter grade so is essentially a single character here. So this data type is a character, even though in Python, like I said, this is a string, even though it is a character and referred to as a char in some other programming languages, like that. All right, so this is good. Now, what can we do with these data types? It would be really useful if we can make some decisions. Say you have a pet, and this pet is a cat. So you want to make sure you feed the cat or you feed the pet the right food. So if the pet is a cat, you might want to feed it kibble, and if the pet is a bird, you might want to feed it seeds. So I'm just gonna work here with Lucy. So Lucy here is Lucy, right, like that. And I'm going to identify pet type. This is a cat, like that. Maybe it doesn't matter capital or not. So this is pet one, like that, and then this is type pet type one, and I'm gonna have another pet name Polly, like that, and pet type 2, that would be a bird. Okay, so we can ask if the pet type is a bird equals a bird, this way, then we can say the kind of food that we want to feed. Then we can say print feed Lucy, and then we take that name. Maybe what we can do is can say Lucy is a cat, and then she, yeah, like that, She eats kibble, like this. Um, so now we can make a decision by asking something here. And we we used an equal operator here, which actually checks for equality. So we're basically checking the type, the content here in this placeholder. That's a cat. If it's a sorry, this is a cat here. It should be if it's a cat indeed, then feed it kibble. Maybe we should run this and see what sort of outcome that we will receive. So clearly says Lucy is a cat and feed it kibble, because this condition here became true when it was evaluated. Suppose that I change this type, and I'm just gonna get rid of the type 1 and type 2. We only need one type. So now I'm going to work with this type here, and the type will be now a bird. And if you actually run this now, this condition here, this check, is not going to be true, because bird is not a cat, right? So this is not gonna show me anything. So if we run this, we're not gonna get anything here. As you can see, we didn't see anything. So what might be useful at this point is to have an else statement. And then this else statement can actually show me a default message if the message that I'm looking for is not evaluated to true. So I know exactly what I'm doing. So we can say pet type, that would give me, you can say my pet is a, not like that. We can just give it like my pet is, like that. And this way is going to print the type, which is a bird versus a cat. So let's run this here like this. My pet is a bird. So this condition here was evaluated to true. So if I end up moving here and changing this guy, I'm gonna copy this whole thing again. And I'm gonna change from a bird to a fish, like that. Do you think we're gonna get the same results? Well, first of all, we're gonna see this guy first, because this guy is gonna be evaluated and is going to print the type bird here, but here is not. The bird is gonna the bird type is gonna change to a fish. So we're also gonna see my pet is a fish. We're gonna see two different print statements. One of them is my bird is a fish, my pet is a bird, and my bird is a fish. So as you can see, the declaration of variable here and the changing in the value of the variable made a big difference on what has been printed here. If I change this again to a cat, like that, and I run it, then I'm gonna see that this first condition here is not gonna be evaluated to true. Therefore, I'm gonna see the first condition says my pet is a bird. And here, since I reverted back to a cat, is going to say, my pet is a cat and feed it kibble. So let's see that we gotten essentially the exact same thing that we were hoping to get. So this is how we can make decisions based on the data types that we have. And therefore we use these data types to make decisions. And as you can see, being able to check for equality here is using the equal operator. And this equal operator is very different from what you have seen before. Basically, when this equal operator, single equal operator here, it means that you put the content on the right-hand side into this variable here, which is a placeholder. So you basically assign whatever to the right-hand side into the left-hand side. Here you actually check for equality. You check if the content of this variable here equals whatever has been whatever has been listed to the right hand side or not. So this is going to give me a true statement or a false statement. If I want to make sure that I really see this, I'm just going to print that condition here like that. And actually what might be better is to print it outside that if statement like that. So now this is going to show me if my condition is true or false. My condition is okay. So this way we can actually print the condition like that. So this is gonna take the whatever true or false value that is going to be evaluated, and then it's going to print it here. Why don't we just do the same thing here? We're gonna print it here before that, and we're gonna see if the pet type is a bird, is gonna say my condition is true, and is going to evaluate this. This statement is going to be printed. If my condition is false, then this one is going to be not this one is going to be printed. Let's just go ahead and do that first. As you can see, the first one, it says my condition is false. So this one here, my condition is false, was the first one to print. And when it was false, it actually printed this statement here, which means my pet is a bird, not a cat. The second one, because my pet was a cat, it printed the condition to be true. As you can see here, my condition is actually true this time. And because this condition was true here, I did not see the default value to be printed here, but I only saw the statement when that was under the condition that was evaluated to true. I think this is much better for you guys to see. Yeah, this way. So this condition is evaluated to true. So this is how we declare different data types. We worked with text, which is, we call them strings. We worked with numbers that don't have any fractions. We call them integers. We worked with fractions. We call them floats. We worked with true or false things, which we have not checked yet. What we might need to do in the next video is to actually work with these data types. Let's continue on the next video and work with these yes or no or true or false data types, which we actually call them Boolean. Until next time, thank you so much.